So then the pandemic happened, right? And the whole world shut down. And other than the fear of not knowing why it was that people were getting sick and dying, and the fear of getting sick and dying, it was great. I loved being at home. It was great. I loved being at home. I loved the quiet. I loved not having any social obligations. I loved not seeing people. Yeah, so the pandemic was a nice quiet time. But then when we decided that there was no more pandemic and the world should get back to normal, then I really started to crash. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle returning to the world. It was really making me sick, physically sick, emotionally sick. Yeah, it was dark. And I wanted to go back into some kind of therapy that would help. But there were no therapies to be had. The waiting lists were huge, as you may recall. So I got on a waiting list, but I knew it was going to be years before I was going to be able to see anybody. So I started doing my own research. And at this point, I think I'd exhausted just about every other course of anything. I started wondering, like, do I have dementia? Like, what's going on with my brain? And when I started looking into that, I stumbled on neurodivergence and the concept of neurodivergence, which suddenly I started seeing myself in a bunch of traits. There I was. That was me as autistic, maybe? So I talked to my partner. I talked to my son, who's now an adult. And yeah, it seemed like it was worth spending a mortgage payment and getting assessed. So I did. I got assessed and I found out, yes, I am autistic. Wow, what a revelation. It was great news. Great news. Mysteries solved. I didn't feel like a freak anymore. Didn't feel like an alien. Didn't feel like an outsider. I suddenly realized I'm a normal person with a neurodivergent brain. I see the world and I experience the world in a different way. That's what's going on. That's my challenge. And that challenge of experiencing things differently and pushing it all down, stuffing it all down, and trying to behave like everybody else, that's what was causing all my physical issues. Yeah, that's what was causing my burnout. That's what was going on. Autistic burnout.